It was the national government which, while weakly enforcing the law ending the slave trade, sternly enforced the laws providing for the return of fugitives to slavery. It was the national government that in Andrew Jackson's administration collaborated with the South to keep abolitionist literature out of the mails in the southern states. It was the Supreme Court of the United States that declared in 1857 that the slave Dred Scott could not sue for his freedom because he was not a person but property. Such a national government would never accept an end to slavery by rebellion. It would end slavery only under conditions controlled by whites and only when required by the political and economic needs of the business elite of the North. It was Abraham Lincoln who combined perfectly the needs of business, the political ambition of the new Republican Party, and the rhetoric of humanitarianism. He would keep the abolition of slavery not at the top of his list of priorities, but close enough to the top so it could be pushed there temporarily by abolitionist pressures and by practical political advantage. And he could link these two with a growing section of Americans, the white, up-and-coming, economically ambitious, politically active middle class. He believed that the institution of slavery is founded on injustice and bad policy, but that the promulgation of abolition doctrines tends to increase rather than abate its evils. Lincoln read the Constitution strictly to mean that Congress, because of the 10th Amendment, reserving to the states powers not specifically given to the national government, could not constitutionally bar slavery in the states. When it was proposed to abolish slavery in the District of Columbia, which did not have the rights of a state but was directly under the jurisdiction of Congress, Lincoln said that this would be constitutional, but it should not be done unless the people in the district wanted it. The Fugitive Slave Act is what we covered in part 1. Lincoln wrote to a friend saying, "I confess I hate to see the poor creatures hunted down, but I bite my lips and keep quiet." And when he did propose in 1849 as a congressman a resolution to abolish slavery in the District of Columbia, he accompanied this with a section requiring local authorities to arrest and return fugitive slaves coming into Washington. This led Wendell Phillips, the Boston abolitionist, to refer to him years later as that slave hound from Illinois. He opposed slavery but could not see blacks as equals. This part, I had never heard this, but listen to this. He opposed slavery, but could not see blacks as equals. So a constant theme in his approach was to free the slaves and send them back to Africa. And quite frankly, I think many people would have wanted that. Just saying.